Pacers were supposed to go into TD Garden with their little shovel and their hoe and maybe even a weed whacker and their way through all of Boston. Now, obviously, the Pacers proved that they should have beat the Celtics last night, that they could have beat the Celtics last night, that they will beat the Celtics, obviously, but they really pissed that thing away at the very end. Couldn't inbound a ball, obviously. Pascal Siakam gets it batted away, and then he goes, and then all of a sudden, Jaylen Brown makes an impossible shot on the Pacers bench. On the Pacers bench, with Siakam literally in his entire face and grill, knocks it down. If you listen to any interview after the game, feels like Jaylen Brown is the leader of this team, by the way. I know Jay Tatum is who PK talks about, and Tatum certainly had a big late fourth quarter into the overtime. He was kind of absent there for a while, but Brown making that shot is absurd, but obviously it was the basketball gods punishing the Pacers for making decisions that they were making there late. But as I was watching that game, I was thinking to myself, when TYRESE Haliburton pulls up from the actual logo,
my God,
and that is Splash City, I'm like, okay, things are falling here. And then at the end of the third quarter, TYRESE Haliburton gets caught in an uncomfortable situation. He does a running forward driveway basketball shot, boom, back, front of rim, falls. It's like Pacers are winning. Like basketball gods are blessing this Pacers team. Little old in it, bang, bang, boom, pow, boom, falls. It's like, well, if that's falling, that is good news for everybody. TJ McConnell was putting the knockoff TJ McConnell in a blender. Showed him this is how you play basketball, kid. If you're going to be the next me, which is what they're saying Pritchard is going to be, well, you're going to have to follow suit. I don't know who made this graphic.
Great photo. That was when
potentially fired.
That's when TJ got crossed up. Yep.
Potentially fired. This is a fireable offense because this is literally the only time on the entire evening in which TJ McConnell was chasing Peyton Pritchard. Whoever did this is gone. I hope you're happy. Hope you're happy, Mitt. Hope you're happy, Mitt.
Get out, Mitt.
It's over, Mitt.
Get out, Mitt.
The narrative we're pushing is not the same narrative every other sports media is pushing.
He's a Pacers fan, too.
Yeah, what the hell's he doing? I think he looks good. He's putting pressure on him, is what Mitt will say. Nonetheless, TJ McConnell, fantastic. Nemhard, dude, this guy can't inbound a pass, obviously. That wasn't a great situation with what they were doing. But he was just so silky smooth. And then when you talk about Miles Turner, at going into the game, he was actually leading everybody this postseason with at least 40 three-point attempts in shooting percentage from three. I said yesterday he'd been shooting like Steph Curry. That's real.
For sure.
Yesterday he hit a little Jay Tatum step back three splash. It's like Miles Turner, who's a 7-footer from Texas, who I think for a while they were trying to have him bang underneath and everything like that. He's got a stroke from outside. He's a massive weapon for us. Our team was ready to get that win, and then obviously complete meltdown with about a minute left in the game, and then we go into overtime. We can't hit anything. They can. Tatum comes alive. But there was certainly some stats that you would look at and ponder about what the hell's going on.
I love it. I love this.
Let's look at Hembo's tweet. We love interesting stats from Hembo. He's big brain, got a deep database of numbers that he can reach into. The Pacers attempted 3 free throws in the first 48 minutes of game one. The Celtics, same exact time, 23.
Okay.
The Pacers went 38 minutes and 38 seconds of game time without attempting any free throws at all. Oh, are they just so technically sound on the Boston side that they're not making any contact with any phantom calls could be called in an NBA official? Now, I saw Tony Brothers out there, which you guys should have been correcting me that entire time. His name is not Tony Peters.
Thought it was Peters as well.
Tony Brothers was, managing the game well. Pacers had the lead all the way up until literally the final 8 seconds of the game when Jaylen Brown does this thing. We had to make some massive comebacks, did with no help of the officials. But you look at those numbers, you start wondering yourself, wait a minute, is that whole uninvited guest thing real that Rick Carlisle was talking about?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to complain. I don't want to complain about it.
You are, but
I'm not complaining about it. This is Hembo. I can tell. You think I called Hembo and said, hey, Hembo, isn't it a little funny? Didn't say that.
Did Hembo tell you to make the graphic too?
Well, I certainly said, Lou, we need to make this graphic.
Okay. just checking.
And this is a different graphic maker. Obviously, this one, congratulations, is going to be around for a while. Mitt.
Nice run.
For that TJ McConnell chasing Peyton Pritchard. I do like the way Peyton Pritchard plays.
Yes.
I like the way he moves. I like the wiggle on that guy. But TJ McConnell's playing at a different level right now, and I think Peyton Pritchard and him will be a good battle. But this whole thing is quite a conversation piece now. What is the deal? And I'm sure Rick Carlisle will pull from it. Rick Carlisle also said, this is my fault that we lost this game. Should have called timeout, should have advanced the ball on the other side. Then it doesn't even matter. We could have done something different. I like that he'll love them up whenever they need it, and then he'll bury them when they don't. I think the Pacers come back in a big way, but I think last night proved this can be a good series, which I'm pumped about because the Celtics were minus 1,000 to win this series and literally 8 seconds away from the Pacers knocking off game one. Instead, Boston steals one at home, which is wild.
Yeah, I worry that it's not going to be a good series just because of the fact that, they did go 7 games to the Knicks. Now game one's going to overtime. Last night I was more worried about that game than any of the other ones coming up here because of the fact that there was that massive layoff and the Pacers are riding this emotional high, and for that emotional high to just get absolutely slit in the throat, you could say. And it's great, up 5 with 1:30 left, and they should have won the game, not to mention the missed layups at the end. But you mentioned Tatum. He did have some times where he wasn't there, but 10 points in overtime. When it matters most, he steps up. Halliburton forgot how to dribble a couple times. I mean, that isn't going to help him. But
well, hold on. Both those times where Halliburton lost the ball, where was it at? Do we have a?
It was left side of the court on the fan end here.
Oh, it was hard cam side.
Yep.
Right about half court there.
Yeah.
Same spot.
Yeah.
Both times.
Yeah.
Let's check the wood.
Yeah.
Let's check the wood at the Garden. I didn't know we'd be having to worry about the wood at TD Garden for Eastern Conference. But there's a chance at the woods. Maybe
his knee.
Yeah, no, Pac, don't worry.
It was a dead bounce.
A lot of excuses. We know he kicked the ball. We know he
dead bounce right there.
We know he was nervous because Drew Holiday was on him, but Tyrese Halliburton's unbelievable. And same with Miles Turner. Like when I was watching, I thought, okay, maybe there is a chance that this thing isn't, a real 10-point spread game. This is much closer. Celtics come out 12-0 run, and then the Pacers just showed like, hey, absolutely, we can go down, but we can come back just as well. There were a couple times where both the Celtics and the Pacers went on 8-0, 9-0 runs in 40 seconds. And all of a sudden, whatever lead there was on either side. It was great. Yeah, it was awesome. Because whatever lead there was, even though those basketball games can be kind of, not annoying, but slow, like the Timberwolves and Nuggets game. The Nuggets were up 20, and it was a slow build back for the T-Wolves. Like this one, when the Pacers were up 8 or the Celtics were up 10, 13, in a heartbeat, it felt like the other team just kind of turned it on its head. But it's a great game. It's a great series. I worry that this loss is a little too much for the Pacers.
I mean, it could be devastating.
It's truly. It kind of reminds me of when the Cavs lost to the Warriors with the J.R. Smith thing, when they almost stole
dribbled the wrong
game
way.
One. Yeah, and he dribbled the wrong way. He thought the score was different, and then obviously it was a gentleman's sweep for the Warriors. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. Very, very impressed with the Pacers. What kind of sucks is that it feels as though they're not going to get any respect no matter what. So even when the Celtics win, it's going to be like, are the Celtics going to be able to do this?
You should have seen, bro. So, 30 seconds left in that game.
Yeah.
I'll leave the bedroom, go out the living room.
Sure.
Turn the lights on, turn the game on.
Sure.
I got video selfie open. Open.
Yeah.
Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. So many people were about to get it. Sports books were going to get it, obviously, for minus 1,000. Celtics going to win this series. Boston was going to get it just because they were playing against the Celtics. I was even going to take a shot at Joe Mazzulla about how, hey, you want to roll right. The absurd things that were going to come. And then it was all inevitably going to end up with the New York Knicks. Where it was like, only beat you guys because you're only were able to win. And then we go into Boston, game one, and beat the hell out of it. Being down, didn't blink, answer. I mean, I had the brain was just like, let's get to 0.
Vibing.
Let's get to. Now, with the Hulu app, it's 15 seconds ahead.
Oh, nice.
When you have cable, it is 15 seconds behind.
Really? Oh, shit.
So, game ended in bedroom, which has Hulu, before ended in living room.
Yep.
Sam goes, oh no, in bedroom.
Oh, jeez.
So what's happening? Then I'm watching it unfold, and it's like, and then as soon as it gets overtime, it's over. I mean, you're an absolute deep. That was in between my wife saying, oh no, in a different room, and me being on a different cable provider. What do we won the game? What are we talking? And we lose. And inevitably, there's some more stats that I just maybe got sent to me.
Oh, okay. Guess I hate Paul now.
Second half of that game, 15 free throws for the Boston Celtics. 1 for the Indiana Pacers. You tell me, D-Butt, 9-year NFL vet, that sounds alarming. That sounds
what are the defensive ranks?
We know stats. You can make stats anywhere, and if you know me,
make stats anywhere.
I don't. You can make them do whatever you want to do. I don't bitch about the refs. We had a chance.
Thank
as
you,
a Pacer, I root for Pacers in this series, but we tricked it off. We pissed down our leg. Obviously, Haliburton had to choke, hoodie on after Game 7, and we just choked at the end. We got to get a better shot there at the end of regulation, obviously. And then Jaylen Brown just made 2 unbelievable plays with the steal, knocking it out first, and then that three-pointer in the corner was nuts. So Rick Carlisle, he tried to take blame, and then I think Haliburton, he obviously took the blame, but could be devastating. It could be devastating if the Pacers weren't so damn good at home. I don't think they lost a game at home, I think, since March 18th. I heard Austin Rivers say, which is insane. So obviously want to still win in Boston, still got a chance to do that, but it'll be a long series.
Yeah, we're playing 5-on-8. We're used to it. So I'm not bitching about it either.
You are bitching
about it. I'm not bitching. I'm just pointing out stats.
Let's look at the rankings of the teams
I'm
on
just
defense.
looking at the stats.
I see the stats. I know what the stats are, but when the Pacers are going to the cup, they're not going strong, okay? You see a lot of this, and I get it,
What is the deal with how big Tatum is, by the way? That guy should not be as big as he is.
He's a big son of a bitch.
Why is he so large? That is absurd to think about. TJ McConnell, who is a professional basketball player.
Wrapping him up around his knees.
Yeah.
Bingo.
He tried to grab his arms. He was reaching straight up like this. Jay Tatum wasn't really around much. It was more Jaylen Brown, but I understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying, the style of play. But those stats right there are obviously going to get pointed out by anybody who has 2 eyes and watch the game. It's like Pacers definitely blew this. 1,000,000%. Yeah. Pacers are saying, we're saying it. Indiana fans that are watching and Pacer fans that are watching that game, and they're up way late. This game ended late. And then goes to overtime. And then as soon as the game's over, you got to go to a full celebration about the Celtics on TV. And it's like, we're supposed to steal this one. It was a long night last night. Nobody was talking about the refs here in Indiana. Just would like that to be known. Just a stat has shown up in our face the next morning where it's like, okay, so we blow it and we're getting screwed. Sweet. Can't wait for game number 2. NBA officials, you guys did a great job. At NBA refs, official NBA refs, you guys did a great job.